With advance appropriations, we're protecting veterans' health care.
And the advance that was made recently and then the realization,
because I knew well in advance that all of those people who had a
change is going to enable the next great advance in neuroscience. It's going to allow
to lock me in, so I was locked in like 7 months in advance. But then I didn't feel like the time was right.
So if you're, some people say book 12 months in advance. Well, a lot can happen.
You cannot tell that in advance. So that makes it harder for the company.
It's in advance. Whenever you can get tickets in advance, it really is worth your trouble. Any good guidebook would
not continue to not only advance and evolve, but it's kind of...
Now, in advance of the dedication, I get a long list of things.
I think we can continue to advance on the goals you've set out for us.
Well,
here is to advance the ball. And so one
have to walk back and forth to advance, slides. But so with that, let me tell you my story.
The Gates Foundation strives to advance a vision of the world in which every person has the opportunity to
as possible in advance of STAR testing. Common Core.
We're going to be trying to advance throughout this session. The goal is really not to
and plan your route in advance. Do any of you remember having that experience?
This is just an inevitable advance of technology. By the way, you play this out 2 and 3 moves down the board, right?
Seeking to advance particular agendas or personal objectives.
In part because the methods that we have used in the past to advance science, which are highly manipulative,
and actually advance towards graduation and actually graduate.
And so you would do what?
Experiences to be able to advance claims against the government, and
who have agendas, look for ways to advance them. Independent regulatory.
That's about prevention, keeping people well in advance, because diabetes, for
to advance the economic standing of people without four.
You think far in advance. You think beyond the present.
Serve to advance the plot by relating events that have occurred, while Nell's journal and
cocktail party, that he would pick a color in advance and he would only talk to people with
and advancing peace and stability in the Middle East and reaffirming
income. I had an advance, but it wasn't particularly large at all, and I went through it fairly quickly. And then I was
do so much to advance our mission, and that it's done on such a remarkable.
Together for any president to govern and project power and advance our interests on the international stage.
Lovely, lovely performers advance, and so, just a lot of encouragement.
So I have to set up systems and rules in advance so that I don't have to be on.
Curve like this, it takes so much effort to hardly make any advance in it, but it's relentless.
We have the absolute responsibility to think this thing through in advance, to figure out what our
strengthen security and advance peace. Let us seize this moment.
And therefore, developing flexible technology now in advance of these missions is crucial.
They think about things, they can actually think in advance about things, they probably have a sense of self.
Work will even advance through the money it takes